What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and in this video, I have to be honest with you. I don't really know how to play Pied Piper. Pied Piper initially for me was a hero where you pick up all of the good boys, and then Pied Piper got a buff, and Copycat got a buff, and Good Boy Copycat was something that you could pretty consistently force on Pied Piper. And now I don't really know what to do on Pied Piper. I basically just pick up all of the polywoggles that I find, and it's nice that we are able to find a polywoggle in our turn one shop. Speaking of which, because we are up against Sadrak, I figured the Shrink Ray was a pretty good spell to cast there, and unless we had picked up the Black Cat or something, we were going to walk away from that one taking some damage regardless, and I probably wasn't going to buy the Black Cat. So I thought that was a pretty good move there. We just Shrink Ray, and now this turn we can purchase 3 units. Next turn we can potentially go Sherwood Sure Shot plus Polywoggle plus 4 Glory, especially if we win this Polywoggle Slay. But yeah, basically Polywoggle's the only thing that I know how to do on Pied Piper. I've never really been a huge fan of the summon comps, and that is kind of what Pied Piper pushes you towards now that Good Boy Copycat isn't really a thing anymore. But Pied Piper does also have the benefit of being really strong in the early game because you're giving all of those animals that +1/+1 for that extra animal that shows up in your spot, or in your shop. So that is the one kind of take that I do have with Pied Piper, is that you should just be using it to play a strong board every turn in the early game and see where that can take you. And I'm going to take that into a 4 Glory. In the case of this game, we'll get a free tier 3 unit on the level up, and I'm just picking up the Bad Billy. Could have taken the Humpty if I really wanted to ensure that I won this 4 Glory. We are playing up against a 40 health Merlin as well, so it's a little bit awkward. We might not win this 4 Glory, but figured I'd buy the animal. Honestly, that was probably a mistake. I think that one of the ways that we get ahead here is probably just by playing the absolute strongest board that we can. It's not going to matter, though. That would have traded with a Humpty regardless, so not a huge deal. And then we are going to wind up losing this combat, unfortunately, so we do take a little bit of damage, but that's what happens when you're playing up against Merlin in the early game. I'm definitely going to pick up a Polywoggle at this point, and then could potentially also pick up Prized Pig. I think I like Prized Pig just a little bit better than the Donkey, just because it has some potential to do some crazy things in the let us scale into the late game, whereas Donkey is kind of like a temporary pickup. So I'm going to go for this Prized Pig despite it not having the +1/+1 bonus. And then we'll see what else we can do. We've got 2 2/2 Polywoggles. I think there's a decent chance that at least one of them slays here. But basically, that's how I play Pied Piper. I just hope to roll into some Polywoggles, hope that they can slay, hope that that can take me somewhere else. And then I'm also kind of using the early advantage that you would typically have, though right now we're in the bottom, we're second to last in this lobby, so that's a little bit annoying after facing off against the Merlin. We are going to get the first Polywoggle Slay. That is really good news. And then Sherwood Sure Shot, I think, lines up pretty well here. It does look like we have a little bit of a freeze. That is not on your guys' end. That is just the game freezing for a second. But no matter, we are unfortunately not going to get this second Polywoggle Slay, but we are going to walk away with Prized Pig Gold. So that's not bad. 1 Polywoggle, 1 Prized Pig, I'll take it. We get a Lady of the Lake for our troubles, which isn't super impressive. It can work with the Minotaur, but I also want to just make sure that I'm being strong. And that is, like I said, one of the things that I try to do on Pied Pipers. I try not to care about the hero too much, and then just use the extra strength that I get over the rest of the lobby to potentially allow me to buy XP. You know, I'm a really big fan of XP on the current patch. We're definitely going to be seeing some of that in this game, and trying to transition into trees and stuff like that. But also going to want to pick up every single Polywoggle that I see. I pick up another Vampire, and there is a definite case here for the I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name, the Queen of Hearts. But I'm going to spend my gold picking up another Polywoggle, potentially trying to slay with that and just see what ways we can get ahead. And if we can slay with some Polywoggles, that'll give us some additional just freedom to be able to purchase some XP later on. So that is kind of the idea here. We're up against the 22 health Miri, and this one is not really super close for them. We're going to be demolishing this Miri pretty easily and getting some nice slays on our vampires and just getting strong. Unfortunately, our Polywoggle doesn't slay, but we do walk away with prized pig gold plus some additional stats on both of these vampires, so cannot be too upset with that. This turn is a 0.2 turn, 3.2, so I'm going to look to not play my Polywoggles this turn, which potentially means I've got an additional spot open for this prized pig. We did see a stag in the shop as well, but I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing with Pied Piper, to just be totally honest, just to reiterate that point once more. But we do have a really interesting shop that we can play here, because we could potentially purchase the XP spell right now, and that's pretty cool because that would allow us to play our Polywoggles on the current board. Then we could also just pick up this prized pig and see if we can make something fun happen with that. Haunted Helm is not going to be anything crazy, but it is going to be some nice stats onto our leading vampire, pump it up to a 721 from 711. And then I think I'm just going to like play 2 units down, which if this was the play, I probably should have just sold the Billy Goat as well and just purchased the XP instead of the prized pig. But we'll see what we are able to do. I don't feel like I'm like totally blind. I don't mean to say or make it seem like I like lose my mind when I start playing Pied Piper. But the reason that I bring up and say I don't really know what I'm doing on Pied Piper is because Pied Piper actually has one of the highest win rates and overall performances on Storybook Brawl Tracker or sbbtracker.com through the data that myself and other Mythic players contribute to that website. So it's always really, really weird. It's right now, I think, rated as the 5th best hero, and I just like avoid it totally and completely. So it's really weird that it winds up overperforming in such a powerful way, but it's interesting that it is so strong. We are going to wind up rolling, picking up a Polywoggle, and then rolling and locking into some XP. I think I'm strong enough that I can afford to do so. And then I will, I believe, not actually play this Polywoggle. I believe I'm going to cut it because even though right now this is 4.1, if we purchase this XP, that means next turn we will be on 5.0. So I think I'm going to, you know what I might do actually here? I might switch my Polywoggles. Try to slay with my unupgraded Polywoggle for right now, and then let's see if I do that in this last second. I think I must. Or else I'm totally losing my mind. Wow, do I really play this Polywoggle? Oh, I switch it at the very last second. Okay. So we had to watch the full one there. But yeah, because of the Turkish Delight in the shop, we are going to want to get an upgraded tier 6 unit out of our upgraded Polywoggle. Doesn't matter anyways because my opponent just lightning bolts it with their monster book. So not a huge thing regardless. And unfortunately, we are going to lose this combat to a pair of Juliet. So we are going to be taking a little bit of damage here. But as you can see, even though we were on 33 health, that was all from the Merlin that just got us for a huge chunk of damage. And then we didn't take any damage again after that. So we're going to pick up another Polywoggle and then roll. And I believe I will roll one more time and find another XP. Pretty crazy stuff. But the point that I'm getting at is I think that we're strong right now from the Pied Piper hero power. And I do kind of have a secret lesson in this video, but I don't really have like any great insight into how to play Pied Piper because I don't personally love the summon comps. I don't think that they're super powerful, like I said, and that's kind of what Pied Piper pushes you towards. Like you're supposed to pick up these time flies and then pick up bear stains and things like that. And there's just so many more powerful things that you can do. And I think you can get away with it on Pied Piper because we're strong enough We're going to be able to buy this XP next turn, and then the turn after that, we will be level 6, right? I believe that math will be 5.1, 5.2. Yeah, turn after that will be on 6.0, and we can start to just purchase some trees. And hopefully, if we haven't taken too much damage in the meantime, we'll be able to do some pretty sweet stuff on this board. So that's kind of just my plan. My opponent has a Medusa, and then they are also going to get in and attack with this Stag. So they are going to be doing some nice stuff against us here. Unfortunately, my Polywoggle fails to slay. That is a really, really annoying one. And we're going to be donating a little bit more gold across this lobby, this time to the Sad Drac, before we take, 9 damage from them. But that puts us down to 18. We can take 9 one more time. Like, I don't mind that. We'll pick up another Polywoggle here and triple and another Polywoggle. I'm really looking to find a Grimsoul. That is like the main thing that you're looking to pick up when you're doing this full Polywoggle board. And unfortunately, we're not going to find one. So we're going in a little bit blind here, but maybe one of these Polywoggles can slay. I believe I sold that goat there just to try to get one more shot at a Grimsoul, because I'd sell 3 units right now, 4 units to just try to put in a Grimsoul, grab an upgraded tier 6 unit and see what we can do with it. We're going to wind up having to make use of a Grimsoul next turn, just because we're just playing so many upgraded Polywoggles here, and I want to, I don't know, make some use of them. But really weird game, and I guess I'll say what the secret lesson is for this video right now. You might not always be able to play like all of the comps perfectly, but you can play what you know. And that is my big takeaway from this one. Because going into this game, I'm like, okay, what do I know about Pied Piper? Polywoggle, buy XP and play trees, maybe. And we actually wind up getting very, very lucky here. So things work out. We are able to slay with a Polywoggle and get an upgraded Jormungand. And this looks like another Polywoggle is going to slay as well. So that's not going to give us anything too great. That one just winds up giving us an upgraded Bearstain, which is a comp that I don't really know and a comp that I don't really want to play. But the important thing is that we are level 6 right now. And we can do a sweet play this turn as well. We can take the Lancelot and put it in the Helm slot alongside the Lady of the Lake, and that puts it to 24 health. So we just need to find any type of spell to get that over that gap, and we'll find a Stone Skin. You can see we see even more Polywoggles in the shop. Those are not going to stop. We're going to keep seeing Polywoggles in these shops until the end of the game. The Polywoggles just come out in full force for us. But importantly, we can sell 4 things and pick up this Hercules. So I think that's what we're going to want to do to round out this turn. And then we'll be getting a tier 5 treasure. We'll also have this Jormungand, which is just a really large unit, and hopefully the Jormungand can carry us while we try to look for treasures off Lance and Hercules, or try to look for potentially like a Baba Yaga to support this Lancelot and move into some type of Slay build. Because Slay is another comp that I know. I understand how to build into it. We've got the Hermes boots. That's pretty nice as well. And then, of course, we've got this upgraded Jormungand, so that is going to be pretty nice for us too. So that is the plan. Let's see what we can do. We're going to grab that tier 5 treasure. A little bit of lag from my opponent's Ring of Meteors. And it looks like we could potentially win this combat. We're just going to be just short of having the Lancelot slay. But the Jormungand gets the slay, and then the Vampire does too. So that is a huge amount of stats. Hercules is going to trade with my opponent's Vampire, which is going to be all she wrote. Well, the Jormungand is going to be able to take out the rest of my opponent's units, and we crack their secret stash. And the important thing is we've purchased 3 XP this game. We're also a full level up on the rest of the lobby. I don't think that Mimic Chest is great on the current board, but it does do something. It means that we've got a double helm, which I'm going to make use of on the Hercules now. 45 health or 40 health Hercules. More Polywoggles here, saying hi, by the way, slaying hi. 40 health on the Hercules, I feel like gives it a decent chance that we actually are able to activate a Hercules, because that is a bunch of extra health on it that could definitely go a long way, and then we'll have an upgraded tier 6 treasure. So that is kind of the idea. We could take the pair of Heartwood Elders here. Unfortunately, we don't have anything that we can Knighthood, so not worth picking that up. But I will take this Echo Wood, and then I will flourish on the Echo Wood just to give it a little bit more survivability. And the Echo Wood is fine for right now, because the Jormungand's going to pump it. So if the Jormungand slays, or if anything slays, which pumps up the Jormungand, that's also going to pump up the Echo Wood. So that's the idea. We do see a Riverwash Mermaid in the shop, but I don't lock it in time, / I'm not really sure if I actually do want it. We're going to get some nice combat RNG here for us on this Hercules. It's halfway completed, and we can see none of my opponent's units have above 20 attack. So as long as one more non-ranged unit attacks into it, we're going to get our Hercules treasure all in one turn. So that is really sweet. And actually, Hercules gets to attack again, so Hercules is going to complete itself. We'll be able to replace this helm, or probably replace the boots at this point. Yeah, I think we'll hang on to the helm, because it does have some synergy with trees, and we find a singing sword. So there's some other sweet stuff here. There's Pandora's Box. We could grab a duplicate of a tier 7 treasure. There's also Phoenix Feather. That's just good with Mimic Chest. But Singing Sword, Mimic Chest is just so good right now with trees. And we have the Echo Wood, so I think we can move into it. And yeah, that's basically, again, to get to what I'm calling the lesson of this video, play what you know. I think that is just a very useful lesson in terms of Mimic Chest plus Singing Sword being so good right now. I think that we are strong enough. I think that the rest of the lobby is probably currently on 5.1. So we're probably doing pretty good right now. I do see that we could pick up like the wolf in sheep's clothing just to do something with Bear Stain this turn. I'm trying to think about if I care about that enough, or if it's not just going to matter and I can just pick up like some random unit here, like the Minotaur or whatever. I think that we're going to be okay without playing anything else, and now we can just Knighthood this Burning Tree next turn. That'll get us really in a place where we're starting to do some good stuff with the Echo Wood. So that's the plan. And I think that we're just strong enough with the Lancelot pumping up the Jormungand, and then the Jormungand pumping up the Echo Wood. It's going to give us 3 pretty reasonable units, and then we also have this Hercules with 120 attacks. So we're doing pretty good here, all things considered. We're going to hit this Mad Catter for 18, and now we are up against the Sadrak. So we could have held the boots for the Sadrak. Or is this really the Sadrak, or did the Sadrak die and come back? I actually want to check on that, because I feel like... Oh, maybe I just missed it. Okay. So we are indeed playing up against the original Sadrak. Oh yeah, and we're just Knighthooding this turn. So this is a pretty straightforward one. So we could have kept the boots, but I think that we are better off here. And we can see that we are a lot stronger than this Sadrak. They are able to Medusa our Jormungand, but we've got the Echo Wood in the back to back it up here and back us up. And we are going to be able to deliver a win with that. And hit my opponent for some nice damage as well with all of these upgraded tier 6 units. We hit them for 16. Now we also find an Ashwood Elm, which better late than never. That is going to be a huge boost to our team. And importantly, the Ashwood Elm is also getting plus 25 health, just like the Hercules previously was. So that is going to give a bunch of extra stats on our board. I will Shard of the Ice Queen on the Bear Stain, make some use of the Polywoggle party that we had going on earlier, and that gives us a great Pumpkin King, which isn't super exciting, but it's fine. It's something. And then we're going to find another Ashwood Elm, and that is actually kind of exciting. I'll sell off the Golden Chicken and our unupgraded evil units here, and then pop in another Ashwood Elm. And that's going to give us a ton of stats. I'm just trying to put the Ashwood Elms on the Lady of the Lake, though I'm not really sure if I super need the Lady of the Lake at this point in the game. Honestly, could probably cut some stuff and move some things around. But I'm saving both the Lancelot and the Hercules for potential shard targets in the future, because maybe we could hit a burning tree or an Ashwood Elm, and obviously that would be pretty sweet. But yeah, importantly here, we're actually still making use of the helm. It's doubled up with the Mimic Chest, so it's giving plus 20 to that first Ashwood Elm, which is then giving plus 20, plus 40 to our Burning Tree and our Echo Wood as well. So all pretty nice stuff there out of just that one kind of like forgettable tier 3 treasure there. And we are definitely going to be stronger than Beauty. It's just going to come down to what scams can they find inside their pumpkin. And they're kind of going to scam Jormungand because he's able to slay but not stay. And they only find one scam out of their pumpkin though, and that is a Medusa that we immediately attack into. And that is going to mean that this combat is pretty straightforward from here. And we're able to take out Beauty before they're able to open up Pandora's box on us. And yeah, we're doing pretty good. Now we've got one more game against either Merlin or Sad Drac if the other one took the other one out, and it looks like Merlin did indeed take out the Dracula. So we're on to the last game, and with that, I'm actually just going to sell off this Hercules and this Lancelot to Knighthood the Ashwood Elm. And now that helm is doing even more work because it's doubled up thanks to the Ashwood Elm, and we found a pretty easy win here. This Merlin would have to really scam us, which is definitely possible. Our board is not the best, and then we do have this pumpkin for insurance, but we also still have like Lady of the Lake. Possibly could have sold the Lady of the Lake to keep like Hercules in or something like that, just as a 40-40, but I think that we are still potentially going to be okay with these trees, just making some absolutely huge units here. My opponent is going to get to trade with most of my units, but then when they get to the Burning Tree, trading time is over and everything else is just going to wind up attacking into that tree. Do we have enough to kill my opponent? No, we only hit them for 14. I thought there was still one more involved in this one. So now it's just time to roll down and hopefully find one more tree. In the next few rolls, we can pick up some golden chickens. We could potentially pick up like Cupid or something. We could also go Robin Wood. Those things are not particularly crazy. I do think Robin Wood is actually pretty good here. But I'm going to keep on rolling and see what we can't find. And we find a Gigantify, which is pretty good. It's not like the craziest thing in the world, but I think it's an okay spell to cast on the last turn. It's 10 health on an upgraded Ashwood Elm, so that's going to be plus 10, plus 20 on the Burning Tree and the Echo Wood. So a reasonable amount of stats across the board, not too shabby. And let's see how we fare in our final fight up against Merlin. And they do find one scam here with a double cast, a forking rotted, what do you call it? Poison Apple. So that's going to get rid of our Ashwood Elm and our Echo Wood. So they did do something, but it's not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to get past our big old Burning Tree. And with the fact that Rotten Applewood doesn't even work against Burning Tree, I think they had a 0% chance to actually get a win there. So that is going to be it. Maybe a 0.28% chance to win. But there we go. That's going to be it for this one. And like I said, despite me not really knowing how to play Pied Piper, I do think that this game illustrates a pretty important lesson, and that really is just playing what you know. If there is a strategy that you are regularly able to put together, then and you understand it, you've seen the videos or you've just played it more often than others. And I think like a good example, I saw some people on Discord talking the other day about Hatball and Peter Pants, and some people just can't do it with Peter Pants, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. Especially, we just got a new season started. Definitely try out some wacky things. It's all about having fun. But if you are a little bit confused on what you should be doing, then a good strategy is just to fall back on what you already know. And that is going to be it for this video. You guys already know, I'm NoLucksGiven. That's going to be it for this one. Peace.